Good morning, afternoon, and evening, wherever you are, and welcome to NerdTube. And it's time to talk about the Tulsa King Season 2, Episode 8, Under New Management. A bit like this stream right now. I am Unwell Zam. I have the Tulsa Ginge right there on my side, and we're going to be talking about this episode. How you doing, Ginge?
Hello, mate. You said, what did I
So,
think? You
you missed.
broke up a bit. Hold on.
It's okay. Yeah, you were you weren't here last week. How
No.
did you find last week's and this week's episode?
Excellent. Yeah, really good. Really good. Bit disappointed that Dad didn't die, because it's just a bit of a cop out.
How did he survive that? I mean, and he looked unscathed as well, which is what I said last week. Like he didn't have many burns or
He
anything.
didn't lose a leg, or he didn't have his face burnt off. Just burnt on the arms and a bit of damage to the leg, which was just they just said he was.
But that's a fucking explosion. He's in the explosion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He should have fucking turned into fucking kebab meat. But no,
But you know what? I mean, yeah, that's the difference. He's in the explosion. Like I've seen people in explosions, in like Brazil where they have those weird gas canisters that they put fuel in their cars. You see those explode while people are in the car. But that's at the back of the car, so they still survive. But this one was right in the explosion, and he survived, and he was awake, and he didn't have his face burnt and his head burnt and all this kind of stuff. So that was the worst take of last week's episode. But other than that, it was solid piece. I like the ending as well.
It was confirmed that the Chinese did try to kill Tyson's dad, but they weren't necessarily going for Tyson's dad. They were going for Manfredi. They were going for Dwight and Tyson himself. It's just that Tyson's dad, Mark, became collateral damage, so to speak, which was unfortunate for him. But yeah, that was that particular week's episode. In this week's episode, it was kind of dour, like Dwight losing his daughter again because he's got no choice. But I thought the subplot of Armand was really pinnacle in this episode today. Following him around, following him falling apart. Like you felt like he went to that point of no return, so to speak. And just watching him, I'm thinking to myself, damn, if he somehow survives this, I'll be shocked. I mean, how can he survive this?
I mean, Armand, the direction his character went wasn't one that I particularly wanted, but it was still a good direction. It was just because it came out of nowhere. Because I think me and you were discussing, like, he'll take a side and be involved in like the gunfights and all this kind of stuff, and then might try to go after one of the members or some shit. And then, but no, he goes in, he robs Dwight, and makes a run of it. Like his whole life just completely falls apart. He gets fired from the job, and we had to suffer through Stallone's daughter's terrible acting. But he gets fired from the job, and then he goes to the other guy, Cowboy Blue Eyes. I can never remember people's fucking names. I'm terrible. I'm sorry. But it goes to him, and I love it. People say, "Hey, he's 100." Nah, just like throws it on the floor like the whole that he is.
You mean Cal Fresher?
I kind of liked it. Was like he had a really good arc, and they didn't have to dwell too much on it. The pacing on it was really well done, because that's what life is. It's just you get to these irrational snap decisions, and then everything can fall apart, and you've just got to make that next irrational snap decision. And it was to rob Dwight, and I thought it's really good because grab the money and just get out of there. He'll probably end up in Denver near his like family or some shit like that.
I thought he was going to kill Dwight actually, because of the situation he's in. Because Dwight is asking him for a lot of money on a regular basis, like 2.5 G's a week. I mean, who the fuck can afford that?
That's what I thought. I thought he'd be the one. Salut, Sonny. I thought he'd be the one to like kill like a member of that team. I don't know who, but just to do it on behest of the cowboy guy. But
and when he did confront Goody near the end, when he confronted Goody, I thought Goody was a goner.
Me too.
I really thought good. I'm surprised Goody survived that. And
Yeah,
yes,
I
Salute
thought Goody was
Sonny
going to go
obviously
for his gun, and then Armand was just going to, react and shoot him, and not like the fact that he shot him, kind of thing. But yeah, nobody really died in that. But I thought Armand's despite the turn being unexpected, I thought it was really good,
but
and see where that
no
goes.
chance. No chance he's going to go back to his wife. The message he left with his kids felt kind of final as well. He could run to Bill Bella. What's his face? Balaclava.
Belichick.
I mean,
Oh
how do you
no,
say his name?
Luga,
Yeah,
whatever his name.
and Bill Enchilada. God, I'm sounding
Yeah,
politically
yeah.
correct right now.
We'll call it Bill Enchilada. Good to hear it,
Likewise, Tony.
Sonny. We're all
Likewise, big
likewise.
fans as well. Love a bit of gangster. So
What did you think of the episode, Sonny? Let us know. Just give
yeah,
us
let
your
us know.
thoughts.
Give us your opinions.
Sorry. Yeah, we're just going character by character in this. So yeah. Who's next, Sam?
Well, I wanna go on to Vincent and Chicky because um last week when Vincent was talking to the mob boss families and whoever they were talking to, the councillaries or whoever the fuck he was talking to in the bar, I thought to myself, this is a bit too smooth sailing for Vincent. I genuinely thought that Chicky was going to outsmart him and kill him before Vincent had the chance to do the takeover. But in a way, I'm glad that's not the case because Chicky, he's a fucking idiot as a leader.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
fucking the
Exactly.
guy brings a gun to the airport. He's got a drinking problem. He killed his father, for fuck's sake.
Mm-hmm.
And that geezer they mentioned they killed for no reason as well. When they were having that sit down, in this
Yeah.
episode too. But because he's an irrational fuck up and he's been given everything on a silver platter, including this leadership role, I do feel that he's going to do something very irrational to try and get back at Vincent. Maybe try to kill Vincent, or do something really stupid to become the leader again. I don't know what you think.
Yeah. I mean, they can't just leave Chicky. Oh, he's gone now. That's it. Unless they leave it for next series. Which it's fine if they do. Like, leave that bit open. That's fine because you don't want to tie everything up by the end of it. And for some crazy reason, I just think he'll go to Dwight, maybe.
Maybe Bill. I think he might go.
Guy,
I think he might go down south and try his
yeah.
luck there and feel.
But I tell you what, again, that was another good payoff because, like you said, you think, despite the other guy doing all this kind of behind the scenes stuff, talking to the other leaders and all of that, I thought it might get back to Chicky, and he's planning his move to oust. Is it Vinny, the other guy?
Vincent, yeah, Vincent, yeah.
Vinny. So and that's when you think, oh, when they're about to do that sit down, and they're kind of standing behind Chicky, it's like another bait and switch because they turn on Vinny and gun him down. But this did instead is it just shows you just how myopic and stupid Chicky is, in that everything he said is just hothead. He's an idiot. He didn't think about the other families, didn't think about the repercussions of his actions, and rather than face getting whacked, they just they ostracize him. Basically, they say, right, you can go here, and if you come back, you're in deep doo-doo. And then that just leaves that open for whatever Chicky's going to do next. And I really loved how this played out in the last two episodes as well. And it was a really good payoff. Of course, we'd prefer gunfights and all this kind of stuff, but the fact that it leaves it open and we're not killing off every villain straight away, it was another good payoff for me personally. Do you guys think that Bev will be back?
Bevilacqua,
Was that the
I
FBI
think.
agent or the daughter?
That's Bill. I think he means Bill. Bev is short for Bevilacqua, I think.
Oh,
maybe
that's the cat, isn't it?
We'll back off because I'm not sure his daughter's backing off.
We'll back off. Sorry, fucking dyslexia. Uh, uh, no, where they just shot. They shot the native guy in the stomach.
I
I don't
want to
know if
get
you checked.
to that in a second. I just want to stick with Chicky for a second. I want to get to that question in a
Sorry.
second regarding Bill.
Yeah,
But there's a weird moment in this episode where where Dwight gives Chicky a call and tells him that his fucking daughter and grandkids are coming back to New York. Like, why the fuck would you do that? You know, to a
yeah,
guy who wants you
that was
dead.
yeah,
You know,
that was
uh,
stupid. And I think that's where again we could end up with the daughter killing Chicky because now he's got nothing to lose. He's lost everything. So in an act of vengeance, because he ties all of this back to Dwight, he might be the one that goes after the daughter, and we get the one in the chamber thing. Because you remember that
oh
seed
yeah,
was
yeah,
planted.
yeah. The one in the
So
chamber,
that's
yeah.
still got that. That's got to play its part. So there is that possibility because Chicky has nothing to lose anymore.
I just found that a bit weird. And also he was supposed to tell this to Vinny, but Vinny wasn't around. And he says he'll let Vinny know, but I'm not sure if Vinny will know. And if Vinny doesn't know, what part does that play? You know, like,
Mm, yeah,
you know, because maybe Chicky might go after the family, and if Vinny knew, then he might be able to stop him from happening. But if Vinny doesn't know, then Chicky will just go rogue. You know,
yeah. Yeah,
that's a
there's
possible.
again, there's so many open-ended possibilities there.
Okay, on to Bill, but I think he means Bill Bevilacqua. Now, at this moment in time, we have a bit of an eye for an eye because Tyson shot one of Bill's guys, and one of Bill's guys shot Jimmy. And the funny thing is, though, even though Tyson shot one of Bill's guys, Bill's guy shot first. Whilst also regarding
Yeah,
Jimmy got shot initially. He was defending himself. So Bill's in the wrong on both fronts here. But now Bill knows after what happened to Carl with the Chinese, and I will talk about that in more depth. But yeah, Bill finally knows at the very, very end, and he's fucking pissed because things have escalated to a position where he shouldn't have gone. Now he knows the score, and
yeah,
I don't know what's gonna happen because Carl wants Bill's protection. Someone like Carl should be able to pay for protection. He's a fucking billionaire. You know,
but
he can
we'll
hire
get to that.
fucking.
Yeah,
He could
we'll get to
hire the
that.
fucking Blackwater military ops and mercenaries. You know what I
Exactly,
mean? He's like, what the
exactly.
fuck?
It's not,
You know?
but there's more to that as well. Like, I mean, let's talk. Let's talk about Carl and his section as well. Then we can
Okay,
go
we'll talk
back
about
to
it
Bill
first then.
because
Yeah.
I first of all the Chinese gangster guy. I love him. He's brilliant. He's ruthless. He's cold. He's really well acted, and the guy just looks the part. And that twist, which we all saw coming anyway, but how it was done, it was great but bad as well. So we saw it coming. It's great that it's happened. However, on with Carl, you know, the guy that had like the attorney general in his pocket at one point, the guy that had he has the money and the resources to buy Blackwater, as you said, you know, to get security. Shit, he could derail the whole operation and ping the whole thing on the Chinese and just get the cops involved, get the FBI involved. He's got the money and the power and the white privilege to completely get away with it and get his own way and get everything back. All he has to do is just use the system against the Chinese rather than gangsters. And I think that's the one area where they have shit their bed because they made him look like a bitch to say that all of his muscle was Chinese, all of his people belong to the Chinese. That doesn't make any sense. Where is the private security? You wouldn't instill all that trust into a bunch of Chinese gangsters, especially after the poppy field fiasco, and when the guy shot those two Chinese people that were stealing. As well, after that, that's when you make contingency plans to protect yourself against this guy. But he shit the bed. He was very just that whole approach was very badly done. But I like that the Chinese have kind of taken over because there's a seed there that we have a couple of, there's just that so much going on for the final episode. Your thoughts on all
Well,
that?
he Carl also bumped into to Aman in this episode as well, and just threw him $100 on the floor. Buy yourself a life. That was
Yeah,
dark, But yeah, as I said earlier, like I'm surprised for a start that he's always at this fucking weed farm. The guy's a fucking billionaire. You're telling me the only business he's got is fucking selling cannabis? Like I
yeah,
like he should have his finger in many pies, and he should have more what do you call it, not hookups, but people he can
connection,
call connections.
connections,
Well, yeah, more
connection.
connections than these Chinese guys could ever fucking dream of. I mean, like you said, he's already got people within the government as well, and with knowing Bill, he knows people in the mafia, so he should have lots of fucking connections. So yeah, all of that is a bit weird, but yeah, it just made him look like this. He's not like this guy's a billionaire. I just want to emphasize that he's a fucking billionaire. He's not like maybe a wealthy guy who might have like a few million in the bank. Who could lose everything. No, he's a fucking billionaire. That whole fucking field of weed could burn down tomorrow. He could still live the rest of his life fucking happy. You know what I mean? He's got that much fucking money. So I just, yeah, some of this stuff just boggles my fucking mind regarding his approach,
Yeah,
and he should have. Yeah, once they tried to kill Manfredi, and then he sees the Chinese leader, Jackie, kill one of his own guys, and then he disposes of him that way. He should have realized this is bad news. You
yeah,
know,
that's it.
and
He should have had
all
his contingencies in place, but he didn't, and it just makes him look stupid because it's like, okay, the excuse could be, oh, he was so obsessed with like Dwight and his operation, even though he himself is admitting Dwight is a small fry, but yet you're still obsessed with
even the
monopolizing.
Chinese admitted that as well. Even the
Yeah,
Chinese said to him, "He's fucking nothing," but his ego got too big. And
exactly.
the funny thing, if he could turn back the clock, he would just leave Dwight alone.
Yeah,
Because if he could, but no,
yeah.
he started something really heavy now. But he ends up running obviously to Bill. Well, that's all he can. I mean, because for some reason that's all he's got. And then Bill got his own shit to deal with. But everything's connected. He finds out that the Chinese are the ones, but who targeted Manfredi. But now because Manfredi thinks it's him, now he's in the war with Manfredi. It's going to be interesting to see how they call all this down, because unlike last season it was only those white supremacist bikers they had to really deal with last
That's right.
season. Now they've got Bill, they've got Chick. I mean, the Chicky they had to deal with as well, but he only came on his own and he was dealt with very efficiently. But this time around, the Chicky Vinny situation it could be an issue now, especially now his daughter's back in New York. He's got Fresher, he's got the Chinese, and he's got Amand, a rogue Amand as well. I don't. I was saying last week that I don't think everything's going to be culminated by tomorrow, by next week. I think some things will
Which
be
is
tied up.
fine. I think
I think the
Chicky and
Chinese will be taken.
Armand can be left for another season.
I think the
I
Chinese
do.
will be taken care of.
I think, yeah, the main focus would be between the Chinese and Bavaluco. I don't even think New York's going to get too involved uh, with the battle coming up. But we still have like the interesting to see what happens with Carl as well, because if Carl's been discarded by Bev as well, does he then use his money and his power to get other people involved as well? So yeah, there's enough Stokes there, and there's enough that I think will be left unanswered that could move into series 3, which is perfectly fine. Like Chicky and Armand, I think their arc should end here and leave it for the coming seasons, because we don't need anything wrapped up there. There's so much more going on that you can literally, like, Armand's a small fry. Yes, he robbed Dwight and his business, but again, that's something they could deal with later when they go
He's not
for him.
necessarily. He's more like an an irritation that needs to be dealt with, though. I feel, he's very close and he knows a lot about Dwight's in and outs, and Dwight's giving him chances. And I think maybe Dwight will think, you know what, that's it. The guy's fucking robbed me now. He tried to kill me, and I let him live. Now he fucking robbed me. I think Dwight will want, I think Dwight will want to take care of him. Whether he takes care of him
Yeah,
this
but I don't
season,
know. I don't know if he'll do it this season though. That's what I mean.
yeah, I
I
agree.
think I think next week's episode, or the episode whenever that is, yeah, it's next week. I think next week's episode is just going to be a big fight. You know how they'll do it in the beginning. They'll do the whole fight thing, and then resolutions, the second half of the episode, and all this kind of stuff, and then a big open cliffhanger for season 3. Is how it's going to go, and yeah, you don't want to tie up all your loose ends straight away. Like New York, you can leave New York alone for this, and leave New York for season 3, and then just focus on the battle with the Chinese and with Kansas.
Just a couple of things. For a start, Tyson and his family, his dad, obviously his mum wants nothing to do with Tyson, and she blames him for what's happened to her husband, that his dad. But there was a moment where Tyson's dad speaks to his mom, to his wife, and says, "You almost lost me. We don't want to lose our son too." And she says, "I think we already have." I actually think that Tyson's father is coming around to accepting who his son is, but now it's the mother who doesn't accept it.
Yeah. I think the son, he's just like, he wants to be Dwight. Basically, he said it himself. He wants to be Dwight, and his character arc has been fantastic in this series. Just how his demeanor has changed, his character changed,
wearing suits now and everything. Yeah,
such a good actor. He's such a good actor.
Yeah.
He really is. I want to see him in more shit after Tulsa King is done, because he doesn't deserve to just slip away unseen after Tulsa King is over, because he's brilliant.
Another thing as well is the car showroom. Is it Donnie, the guy who owns the showroom? I think that's his name.
Yeah.
Like they bring in the car which got shot up by bullet holes. I mentioned that last week regarding the bullet holes, and now they need a new car. And also, apparently, as far as the timeline of the show is concerned, tomorrow, which is obviously for us next week, he'll be signing over the reins to Mitch and Dwight, I guess. There's something feels a bit fishy about all of that. Like it's not going to be straightforward. I think he, if his name's Donnie, if his name's not Donnie, forgive me, but I'm calling him Donnie for now. If Donnie, the car showroom guy, might not necessarily get what he's asked for, and he might get a bit hard done by, in my personal opinion. Everything seems to be a bit too smooth sailing. When they got that new Navigator, or what the fuck that car was, there was a look that Tyson and Mitch gave to each other, like, yeah, we're gonna fuck this guy over. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Yeah.
So, So, and that also is gonna have to play a part in I think that, with Mitch maybe taking over the showroom or wherever it may be, I think that's gonna play a part in the final episode. I think there's gonna be a combination with that regarding the showroom as well. So, which is very minor. Might be only be a minute.
Before they sign a deed and they just walk away.
Oh, they could do that. They could do some sort of insurance scam. So there's a possibility. I never thought of that. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
All right, so that's pretty much it.
That's it.
It'll be interesting to see how we get resolution now, because, like I said, but Baralakwa, he's in a war that he knows he shouldn't be in, and he thought they resolved everything when they had that sit down a couple of weeks ago. But nothing's been resolved really now that they're fucking shooting each other. But he does know who genuinely tried to kill Dwight. I don't know how that's going to play. It's going to be very interesting to see next week. I can't wait. The final episode of this season. And we will be getting a season 3, guaranteed. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
the best
I'm
news.
happy about that.
Whilst the locals still do this shit.
Yeah, I'll give this a 9 out of 10. I thought it was an almost perfect episode. Just the Carl thing was a bit silly, but other than that, it was fantastic. Really solid episodes.
Good episode for me as well. I'm not going to go as high as you, but still top marks. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 I did enjoy it, and I felt a lot of seeds were sown not just for next week, but for the future of this show as well. And it's going to be interesting how certain things culminate and how certain things are set up for next season. So I'm looking forward to that. And like I said, in my opinion, I do think Chicky's going to be going down south. That's just my personal opinion. So
Okay, we'll wait and see next week. Can't wait, baby. Bring it on.
bring it on.
Series finale. And then
Yeah,
hopefully we don't have to wait another 2.5, 3 years, whatever, however long it was for the next one. And that's
exactly. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube, the greatest social media channel you never heard of. Take care now. Thank you, James. Bye bye, everyone.